Travel Club is here at the Royal Malewane, and we're with the pastry chef Beatrix, who is teaching us how to make seed bread, which can also be fruit bread, which she's just put together. But now we're going to go into the Malva pudding, which has been one of people's favorites this weekend, as we've been staying here 3 days at the Royal Malewane. So Beatrix, why don't you tell us about Malva pudding?
Malva pudding is a very traditional South African kind of dessert. It has a fruity flavor to it. Main ingredient is apricot jam. People ask always what's the secret. I will say apricot jam. In real life, it's the TLC that you put into it. It's always about that. But it's very easy. It's just an add together. You put it into the oven, you bake it, you pull it out, you put the sauce over, and you're done. You have a pudding. I want to say it's almost like an instant pudding, except it doesn't come in a box. You make it still yourself. So what we're going to do today, we have some, the recipe will say brown sugar. I have some treacle sugar. Now treacle sugar is almost the same as the brown sugar that you do get, like you can even use the raw sugar that you have in the States. So what this is 400 grams of treacle sugar that I'm be using. There's 5 eggs that you do add to it. So you want to get the sugar and the eggs mixed up. You want to get it a bit fluffied up, almost to a sauvignon stage, but you won't take it completely to that stage. You don't want to get it white as possible, because it's not necessary. For you, it's just basically to get yourself the eggs, the sugar incorporated, so it can go up, make yourself a fluffy, you want to have that fluffiness of the dessert stuff. You can do it with the electrical whisk as well. I am in the bush, so we prefer to go by hand. We want to say it's almost the old age way, the old fashioned way, but that's the good way.
Upper body workout.
There you go, definitely. My gym session for the day. There we go. Then you're going to add some apricot jam. You can take any apricot jam. You can use very diabetic apricot jam if you want to, whichever apricot jam is available. It's up to you how sweet. The apricot jam also obviously adds sweetness to your dessert. What I have here is 200 milliliters of milk. I'm going to add a bit of vinegar, just plain white vinegar I'm adding to it. It's almost like you will make your own homemade buttermilk, to put it that way. Here I have some bicarb of soda that I'm just adding to that, leaving it for a little bit. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to alternate the flour and the milk mixture into the eggs. Here's already 1.5 cups of flour that I've sifted up with the salt. Very important to sift your flour. It's going to add on to, the fluffiness to your pudding. It will add on to it. So just sprinkle your flour in, and I want to say almost whisking like, not mad. You don't want to beat out any bubbles or anything, to put it that way. Sounds so silly, the bubbles, but you want to still try and keep it as fluffy as possible, to make sure when it starts rising that it's it's light. You will see, because when you make your sauce and you pour your sauce over, if it's very condensed together, it's not, the sauce doesn't go through, so you sit with a dry pudding. So yes, the TLC is very, very important in this whole mixture. You'll see also when you bake your Malva pudding, people want to open an oven. Don't open an oven. I want to say it's almost like a cake. Bake it for 35 minutes and then open your oven and touch it. If it still seems a bit wobbly, then bake it for that further 5 minutes. But don't open the oven in between, otherwise it will make a little dent. And if you want, you can even have just a plain plastic spatula, and you can just keep on folding it in. Obviously I'm just now doing it with a whisk, otherwise you're gonna stand here the whole day talking. So, which I don't mind. I have that time on my hands, but you have game drive, so I don't want you to miss your game drive because I'm making pudding. So yeah, and that's basically it. So what's gonna happen now, I'm gonna pour it into my dish, put it into the oven. Your oven is preheated to 180 degrees Celsius. It will be a 350 Fahrenheit. You put it into the oven. After 35 minutes, you'll open it up, touch it, see if it's, if it's set. Pull it out, it's fine. This is very important when you make your sauce. The sauce is your cream, your butter, and your milk. You need to make sure that is very hot. So when you pull out your pudding, you're going to start throwing that over your pudding, but it needs to be hot so it can soak it up. Your sauce needs to be hot. Your pudding is still hot. It soaks it up so much better. Pull your pudding like from the sides, pull it away so you can get the sauce in. And if you can at that stage, you can portion already your pudding like in your dish as well. So the sauce basically soaks into the pudding itself, and it's, you know, when you dish it out, it's saucy, but it still holds its consistency.
Such a great South African dish, and everywhere you go in South Africa, you're going to find Malva pudding. So, as the Gourmet Travel Club, I think we've had a few, haven't we, on this trip? We have had a few, and we thank Beatrix for sharing it with us today.
Thank you, ma'am.